I promised you a gigantic move, $1,500 to $2,000. Guess what happened? We got our move. But what's next? Hello Adrian, and welcome back to my channel. It's 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8, and we are live once again on YouTube and on Facebook. I think most of the people are watching me on Facebook. So welcome wherever you are watching around the world. It has been a crazy day. Yeah, Bitcoin did what we were talking about. We got that gigantic pump. We talked about it for a couple of days. I think 2 days ago I told you guys it is money time. The HVP was flashing red. I told you guys it is money time, and that's what we hopefully you guys also did. Anyways, hi Darren. Good evening and welcome once again to the show. I think you've been here almost every night, every evening. So, hi Henry. Yes, it was a crazy pump, wasn't it? Amazing, wasn't it? It was so amazing. Anyways, let's go and check out our COVID situation first before we go into deep analysis of Bitcoin. And let's check it out what our map is. Quick refresh, and let's see, here we are. This is our list. We are over 1 million cases in the US, over 200,000 both Spain and Italy. France is starting to be overtaking, UK is starting to overtake Germany, so they have more cases now in the UK. So let's take a look at our coronavirus chart. Let's refresh this one. So we get the latest number, and we are at close to 3.2 million cases. It has been slowing down, as you can see here. It's starting to slow down the slope, but it's still trending upwards, so that's not good. The US is starting to slope down, so that's a good thing. Spain still not, Italy still not, France still not, UK still not, Germany is starting to flattening. So as you can see, the situation is pretty bad. I'm stuck in the trade. Oh, Henry, you're stuck in a trade. Well, you can tell me what your position is, and let's see what we can do about it. And more importantly, maybe it's better for you to explain your reasoning of your position, because most of the times that is way more important than what the result is. So what was your reasoning in going into a trade, and what was your plan, basically your master plan to go in and out of a trade? You know, the whole plan. What was your mindset? What was your thinking? And then we can analyze that, and we can do better, or you know, I'll give you my perspective or where most likely it went wrong. Because like I said, don't feel sad or bad about it. Trust me, I've made my own mistakes. I've lost, when I started out, I lost over 100 Bitcoins in a trade one time. And if you do understand that, that's a lot of money in the past, right? When the huge crash went down, I had some funds on BitMEX, and I got stuck there as well for a part of my position, and I got liquidated there as well because they got DDoS attacked, so I couldn't stop my position as well. So I was very pissed off during that time as well. So you know, don't feel too sad about the things. Like I said, it's all about long term and becoming better, and at one point, you know, being profitable. Right? Okay. Let's move on. So that's the coronavirus situation. We got some good news about the coronavirus though, and that is the following. So Apparently, we are not sure, but this morning, during the one of those Trump speeches or Trump shows, they said that the preliminary major study of the antiviral drug remdesivir shows that it can help hospitalized patients with COVID-19 recover faster. So yeah, Dr. Fauci hailed the findings released as quite good news. So the data was showing that remdesivir has a clear-cut, significant positive effect in diminishing the time to recovery. So it doesn't it doesn't really say that it's completely cures the disease apparently, but it says that it has a very positive effect and that it was reducing the time that you are spending sick immensely. So that's a really good news. And on because of that news, a lot of people were, of course, like I said, FOMOing in once again into everything, because they are still thinking, wow, the prices are so low right now, we are going to the moon, and look at that pump. It was pretty crazy, right? But like I said, always keep your mind very, very focused, and don't listen to all that media bullshit. Don't move in with the herd. You should be, having your own opinion, and make sure that you are not too biased, right? Let's put it like that. So when you are starting to feel that there's a lot of FOMO feelings, fear of missing out, for the people who don't know that abbreviation. So when you start feeling that FOMO, that you are missing out, that actually means that you should not be trading at all, or you should not be buying at least. Or when you are super scared in a position, that also actually means that, when you feel like, oh shit, this is really, because that's what happened during the COVID virus period, right? A lot of people were very, very fearful. They were like, oh shit, I'm gonna dump everything. But then what happens is they dump too much, and then the price reverses, right? Then the price goes up and does the opposite. So it's in all these times, you should be very, very calm and relaxed, and think about how the situation is. Okay, the situation is as following. Like I said, macro perspective is still the same. Everything is still the same. The virus is still out there, and it's still doing damage to the economy. Secondly, we have seen that there is a difference in the halvings, right? So I posted this yesterday. Where is my halving? My halvings chart? It is somewhere around here. Oh, did I close it already? No, apparently I closed it already. Did I close it already? That is very weird. No, that's not it. Apparently I closed it already. So sorry, you'll have to watch my previous video then to see that there is. So basically there's three halvings. One is upcoming, and there's a very, very macro trend difference between this halving and the previous two halvings. So we just keep all of those things in mind. But like I said, it does not mean that we can not make a push upwards. So you took a position this morning at 8.6, and you wanted to pull out from the trade at 9K, but unfortunately you got stuck. Okay, well, I don't know what the amounts are in US dollars, but let's take a quick look, right? So I'll just duplicate this one, right? And I'll just take doop. Hi Matthew. Well, it was an emotional roller coaster, really. I didn't think it was that emotional, to be honest, but yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the chart here. This was the daily. Okay, where are we at? So you took a position at 8.6 here, at this 8.6 here, and you were expecting that we would go all the way to 9,000 around here. Okay, wow, That's first of all, that's very ballsy because yeah, that's like in the middle of nowhere, you know. So Henry, what I would be suggesting is define resistance levels and your support levels a little bit better. So what you should be doing is basically putting lines like this. So this was our because you said you put it at 8.6, right? This is our support level. Well, after it breaks, it's our support level, right? So this is our resistance level, right, on the top here. So taking a position right here at like 8.6 in the middle of those two points kind of makes no sense, if you understand what I mean, right? So what you can be doing is, let's say you took a position here at this point here. This is our support level. You can clearly see that, see, price went up, bounced back down, pushed up right here at this support level. So here, longing here would make sense because we broke through that resistance line, went back down, retested support, and went up. So if you would be longing from this spot right here, it would make sense, right? Shorting. Okay, let's say the price went up here and you see that it's getting rejected from this point. So shorting from this point here, although it's kind of very risky, makes sense as well, right? And it went and it goes back down. So basically, play around a little bit more with resistance and support lines, and you know, make a better decision upon that, rather than, you know, just in the middle of nowhere feeling like, oh, this is a nice number or this is a pretty number, let's long from here or let's short from here, right? So I think that was the mistake that you've made. A second mistake that you should be always thinking about is your stop losses, right? So what are you gonna do from this point here, right? Are you just gonna let it roll? Are you gonna, you know, what is your liquidation point? Are you just gonna hope and pray that we go to the 9,000 euro? You know, it's a very tricky situation here. Although I do think that there is a chance that we will be going towards that 9,000 euro. So it's not lost your position or anything like that. But in a trading perspective, that wasn't a very good trade for those particular reasons. So okay, I hope that helps you a little bit. Okay, let's go back into our analysis. All right, so this is our, okay, as you can see here, this is our weekly chart. Our weekly chart, you can clearly see that we are, although that people are super FOMO, we are still in a downtrend on the weekly chart. As you can see here, it's very clear: highest high, lower high, lower high, and what did we have here with that pump? Still a lower high. So for people to be immediately going nuts and crazy, you have to be, these are the kind of points that you have to be extremely careful, right? So like I said, always put your mind in the perspective of the opposite of what is going on in the media. If you see massive amount of articles all saying, and similar what I'm doing with my titles, right? I'm just saying, yes, $1,500 pump or something like that. It excites people, so people are excited about it. But that's actually when things get reversed, right? So you have to be very careful. Hi Gil, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. So yeah, what did I personally trade? Hi Kyle, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. It's okay, Henry. Like I said, even after so many years of trading myself, I still make mistakes and I still learn, or at least try to learn more on a daily basis. But that's basically what we're here for, right? Like, we're trying to become better people or become better traders in our craft. It's like, you know, it's like in every job that you're doing, right? You're trying to become better at your job and finding ways to improve your results. So admitting mistakes is not a bad thing. However, keep making the same mistakes is a very bad thing. So just keep that in mind. As long as you're making mistakes, that's fine. But making the same mistakes continuously, that's not fine. All right. So what did I do this morning? Well, this morning I basically posted. Well, I posted this chart for myself. And as you can see, the price at that time was only 8,800 at that point in time. So it's time stamped. This is just purely for the reason is just to be sure that people are not telling me, hey, you saw what happened afterwards and you're basically repainting everything. You can clearly see here, I posted this chart this morning at 10 o'clock a.m. here. You can see it. And the price was only at 8,800. But what did I do and what did I say? I said the top was most likely here at around $9,460. That's basically what I was saying. So let's go into the chart, right? Boom, 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 boom. Where is it? Oh, here. Oh, I found my halving chart by clicking around. See here. So once again, for the people who are interested in the halving chart, as you can see, very big difference. I'll go over it very quickly. Very big difference between the first halving, accumulation phase, bullish volume, accumulation phase, bullish volume, downtrend, lower volume. Similar here. This is the S&P, this is the Bitcoin chart, very, very similar. You can see the correlation between the S&P and the Bitcoin chart, and you can see that in the macro trend, these three halvings do not show the same movement or the same pattern. So we have to be very careful with this halving. Doesn't mean that we're not going to push up higher, of course not. But it's just we have to be keeping in mind that this is a completely different trend than what happened before. So if you are hearing people are saying like, okay, we're going to 40,000 immediately this year or something like that, most likely it's possible, but I still don't believe it. I just keep myself very, very focused and based on what I'm seeing. Okay, so what happened this morning? So what I've actually charted is this. And I'll remove some of the indicators so things are a little bit more clearly. So basically what you only have to look at is the moving average 200 on the daily basis. So I'll make it very fat so you can see it a little bit better. So I'm talking about this red line. So what happened every single time before we crossed that moving average 200? Well, I mapped it out from here. We crossed this red line here, the moving average 200 on the daily, and we pushed up 18.53%. Same thing happened right here. We broke through the moving average 200 and we pushed up here exactly 18.53%. What happened to yesterday? Yesterday, we broke through that moving 200 average. And if you make a measured move from this red line all the way towards here to the top, I was expecting around, as you can see, 9,400 and something a little bit higher, 9,456. And where did the price go? Well, I think it went to like 9,481. So I was wrong by like $20 or something like that. But as you can see, that area or target made a lot of sense for me because this is what happened in the past, right? That is one way of getting to that position. But if you have listened very, very carefully yesterday on my analysis, what did I tell you guys? I told you guys exactly where I would be taking a short position. Well, I told you guys we would be touching for a very long time this resistance level. For the moving average 200, that's on the daily time frame. So on the yesterday, I told you guys this is a natural resistance line. doesn't mean that we won't break up higher and go up to the next higher time frame resistance line. Of course we can, but what I always say is usually what happens is we do not break through the resistance line the first time, and definitely not after making such a huge big move already, right? You have to understand, it is like a car that has oil and you run out of gas at one point, right? So if you already on overdrive and you're pushing it to the limit, of course whenever you're hitting and crashing against the wall, it's going to be harder and stronger than if you're going at a slow pace, right? So that is basically what happened. So I targeted my long towards that area and I switched it over into a shorting position on that area, and where I already closed my shorting position because, well, I've also told you guys that whenever some big area breaks, right, it becomes support level. So if you look very, very, very carefully, and this is something that I've told you guys also yesterday, right here, this red line here, that's our major breakthrough, right? I told you guys that's a major resistance line, the 8.5K area range. So what happened when we break through it? It means that this becomes support, right? So what happened when we smashed against the wall? We broke down and we hit exactly, where do you see it? Yes, exactly on this 8.5K area. So basically I made exactly 2 trades yesterday, and that's it. That's most likely going to be it for me this week. Well, maybe not. It all depends on what happens tomorrow, because tomorrow, once again, we come to a very, very key point, and that is what I've been speaking to you guys for a long time about as well, and that is the monthly close. So what are we looking for on the monthly close? So let's take a look first at our weekly chart. Like I said, this is basically our resistance point. Doesn't mean that we cannot break through it. Of course we can break through it. And what would be our next point? Well, here at the top of our Bollinger Band at around 10.3 to 10.4K, that would be my next target, 10.3 or 10.4. And if you go back into my higher time frame resistance, what is this area here? This area is here at one second. At 10.4, 10.3, let's make it an horizontal line here, around 10.4 or 10.3 line, this area here. That is exactly where we had our previous high, as you can see here, right? So it makes sense that that could be our potential, our next resistance line, right? I'll leave the line right there for now, because I'll show you guys something really cool after if we hit around that 10.4K area. Hi Ahmed, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. So once again, let me go back to my weekly chart, right? Where's my weekly chart? Hi Mark, thank you for liking the stream. And here, yeah. So we have our first hardcore resistance here. Do we break it? If we break it, great. Most likely we'll have our next resistance here. Do we break it? Well, we go back all the way up to our previous high, which is around, I would say around 11.5 area. So that would be our next Kiao, thank you for following. Welcome to the channel. 11.5 would be our next target after, if we get there. Thank you for liking the stream, John Emmanuel. 1 second. Oh, thank you, Mark, for sharing the stream. Thumbs up. Anyways, so back to my train of thought. Let's go into the monthly, okay? So monthly chart, super important. Like I told you guys, tomorrow there's two key things that I want to see. First of all, we need to be closing this candle above the EMA 21, right? Right now it's only at 7.5K. 7.5K is now our key pivot point. If ever the price closes below the 7.5K, this would mean that we would get a rejection of our, right? And I hope you understand what that means, right? If we get a close below the EMA 21 at 7.5K, trust me, bearish, very, very, very bearish, right? But we're very high from it right now, right? So we don't have to be very worried about that. What we are going to add as our what we're going to add is our moving average. Built in. Why is my moving average not showing? Here, moving average, and we're gonna add the moving average 10. I'll make it maybe a red line. Well, maybe red is not too clear. Maybe a purple line. Well, let's make it a blue line. Blue line. Input 10. Okay, so this is our moving average 10 right now on the monthly. So what usually happens is whenever we get a strong push and we hit against the wall, we always retrace back to our 10 moving average. So that's one of the things that you have to be, putting inside your mind towards the 10 moving average. And that's basically also one of the reasons why I closed my shorts there already, because if you can look, the 10 moving average is at 8.5K, right? So that's where price basically, that 8.5K range went back down. So that's the reasoning why I am at this point completely neutral, because we don't know what the close is going to be tomorrow, right? So what I'm just waiting is like, are the bears finally going to step in and push the price below the 8.5K? Then that will make our monthly candle close below our previous monthly candle, right? If you can see it clearly here, I'll make a trend line here. Beautiful trend line, beautiful horizontal line right here. Pew! As you can see. And that is also exactly where our 10 moving average exactly is, as you can see. Is that not beautiful? It's just picture perfect, isn't it? So tomorrow morning, when we wake up, I want to see, is the price going to be closing below the moving 10 average or making a lower high below the previous monthly candle? Oh, thank you, babe. My water is here. Is it going to be closing below the monthly 10 moving average or not? If it does, I will most likely adjust my position, or I will be actually thinking about another retracement towards where is the next logical one. Of course, our yellow line at the 21 moving average. So my next month bias will be more towards leaning towards another small correction rather than push upwards. If we manage to close above the around this area around here, right? If we manage to close above, then I do see continuation, and there is a possibility that we actually will be breaking out of this downward channel. But don't forget, we are still in a channel. We are still in a macro trend that is a downward macro trend. I cannot say this too many times, because people are, they see this pump and it's very like crazy to say, right? We pumped like $1,800 or something like that, something really crazy. And I'm still telling you guys, like, I'm still not convinced that this is our reversal. I know it sounds very illogical, but that's just how trading actually works. You have to always keep your mind open and stay grounded. Do I think that this is a bad thing, and am I super bearish right now? No, I'm actually very neutral right now. I'm neutral because I'm still waiting for that confirmation of the price, and the price and the market will tell me what it wants to do. And tomorrow already we will be seeing a lot of information, and based upon that information, we will be making our next move. Because like I said, I'm the kind of person that is very, very patient, and I be waiting for my spots and moments. But when I do hit it very hard. Like yesterday, like I said, 2 days ago, money time. And when I say it's money time, it's a move of like $1,500 to $2,000. You saw what happened. It's a move of $1,500 to $2,000. Hi Stone, hi Winkle, and Luke. Welcome all. Thank you for following, and welcome all to the channel. Hope you enjoy yourself right here, right now. So we are currently waiting for the monthly close that is happening tomorrow. So let's see what happens tomorrow. And today, like I said, the weekly close is going to be very important next week, of course. If we are breaking below the EMA 21 or the yellow line or these previous support lines once again, things will be very bearish, and we would be looking at a rejection, right? So I know everybody is the FOMOing in, but I'm very patient and waiting for my spot, and this is not the spot where you want to be stuck in, right? Hi Gita, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. So once again, let's go back into our HVP, historical volatility percentile. So what did I tell you guys? We have been contracting since this break drop down from the 13th of March, since our big drop. I told you guys when we were contracting this whole pattern, and at one point we are going to be pushing up or down for a very, very big move, either up or down. And what happened when it was flashing here on the 28th of April, I told you guys it was money time, and we will know the next day most likely what the direction would be. It was either going to be a push upwards or a break downwards, but it was going to be fast and furious and a big move because we have been contracting for a long time. And then price will be breaking out of that triangle like you've seen. And right now, as you can see, price has broke out of this triangle. However, it's still expanding. It means that the move in its completion is not done yet. So that is also one of the reasons why I'm telling you, Henry, there is not hope lost, because since this is not turning yellow or orange or red, it means that the move is not completely yet. So what I think about the halving, well, I think we have to wait and see what the direction is before we make any assumption. Is it possible that we are going to be dumping before the halving? That's very, very possible. Is it possible that we are going to be breaking up after halving? That's very possible as well, right? But I can only say and follow up right now for what the situation is for me right now. I'll go over some very long-term analysis in a while after I've done with this more mid-term and short-term analysis. So basically what I'm seeing is the following. We have not turned into yellow or into red just yet. It means that this move is still ongoing right now, right? If we are looking at our RSI, you can clearly see we are really, really high, but it has not made any move towards the downside. We can see that our CCI is still very high and is still up there, and which is normal for a trending move towards the upside. Does that mean, like I said, the HVP doesn't give you a sense of direction. It only tells you that there's, it's a substantial move that is upcoming. What we do see is stocks are starting to curl down, which means that, of course, the momentum is waning. And on the daily, let's take a look at the daily. What I can see on the daily is the following. We do see on the daily, a daily HVP, that we have a yellow bar, meaning most likely that was, sufficient for the move of yesterday. But as you can see today, it's still expanding, meaning there is still, there's still some power left in the tank. Let's put it like that. So is it done yet? Most likely not. Do I think that In the short term, we're gonna make some retracement, yes, and I think we already did actually. So that 8.5K is most likely for people who are risky. You could have longed that spot. That would be actually here, right here on this red line. That would be actually not a bad move, to be honest. Just looking at the all the overall indicators. Do I think that we will be breaking up higher? Well, we will have to, like I said, we will have to see what happens tomorrow. After we get our monthly close, we will have a lot more information. So boom, boom. What do I want to show you guys also for today is some more macro analysis, right? Okay, so if you are bearish or bullish, you can look at this the following. So these are all a lot of you know, probabilities, but that's what I basically keep on doing on a daily basis. Just check out, you know, what the possible scenarios are, and I keep it in mind, and if something changes, I will be changing my plan as well, right? So what happens if we stay in this triangle and we get rejected, right? Let's just say that we get rejected. And then we would look at this more as like a broadening wedge. That makes sense, right? This looks like a very big broadening wedge. So what happens in a broadening wedge? We go bounce up here, then we bounce up here, then we bounce up here, then we bounce up here, we get rejected, and we get a lower low. That's what a broadening wedge is. But after the lower low, we obviously go to the moon, because then this whole pattern here would be accumulation, right? That would be pure accumulation, and then we would go very high as well. So that is one possibility that we are seeing. Not saying that is what is going to happen. I'm just saying that is a probability, a macro analysis that we have to be thinking about. Okay, another possibility. Let's say we push up higher. Let's say we push up higher to this next point here. Well, what do we see then? What possible movement could this be? Then this could be a inverse head and shoulders, as you can see here. We push here, and then we might get another leg up lower here, and then we form a inverse head and shoulders here, and then we push up very high as well. That would be a other very possible scenario. Then we would be looking at rebuying, of course, around this area here, right? So once again, just keeping things in mind. Doesn't mean that this is what is going to happen, but we are keeping that in mind. So another scenario could be is, okay, let's say this is our next option. We move all the way up here to this point here, and then get rejected, and then we have some sort of a super big triangle, and that would be something like this. This would be our A, B, C, and then we would go somewhere here, depending on how low this one can actually go here, here, and here. So it depends on what our major supports. I would say somewhere yeah, most likely here, because we bounced off, we made a double support line here, right? So here and here a big line, so most likely around this area here we should be rebuying, and then of course afterwards we would be going to the moon afterwards. That is a huge triangle that we could be forming, right? So once again, these are all probabilities, all patterns, all formations that, you know, I keep on thinking about and coming up with. And then of course, when things actually, you know, it's like a puzzle. When things start to happen, we adjust our scenarios, and we basically remove the scenarios that are not happening anymore, or that are not possible anymore, right? So but once again, it's all about probabilities, right? So whatever happens, then you just basically pick out what the highest probability is of the scenario that is happening. So what is currently the highest probability? Because everything is so bullish right now, I do believe that there is a very big chance, because we still are around 10 days, and 10 days is eternity in crypto industry. 10 days to get another leg up, meaning most likely I do think that we will either get to this situation or even this situation before the 11th of May. But once again, nothing is confirmed, or nothing is, and this is just pure on probability wise, because like I said, we can see that price is pushing up, but as long as the monthly close tomorrow is not showing me what the price wants to do, I'm not giving it any thoughts or anything like that. One of the reasons why I am still quite bullish, is of course because of the correlation between the stock market and definitely Nasdaq, that has been following Nasdaq versus Bitcoin. So what I'm doing is also on the S&P chart, right? And I've told you guys, this looks like, even though we are in a small retracement right now, we will most likely bounce off this green line, once again, the EMA 100, and then might touch this 3000 line, or the simple moving average, the 200 simple moving average. So if the S&P hits the 200 simple moving average, it means that most likely Bitcoin will take another leg upwards as well. So the probabilities are just higher for Bitcoin to go back up higher, one more leg or something like that. Once we hit that level, once we hit that level, we have more information on what is going on, and what is most likely, where we have more higher probabilities. And then at that point, we will make our next analysis and take it from there. Hi Syed, thank you for following, and welcome to the channel. So yeah, that was quite a lot of analysis, and maybe you're a little bit overwhelmed right now with a lot of information, but take your time and maybe rewatch some stuff. Hi Justinas, thank you for liking the stream. So I gave you a ton of probabilities or things that are just in my mind. Thank you for liking the stream, Trent, as well, and welcome. All stuff that you can just consider, let's put it like that. And after a while, you get used to it as well, because yeah, there's so much information around right now on the internet that it can get you a little bit confused about everything, right? So short term, let's look at the expected move chart. Well, as you can see here, expected move chart still is angling towards the upper side, right? As you can see here, the first standard deviation on the upper side is at 9,087, and the one on the bottom is at 8,746. And this is very important. This is very important. This is very important. 8,745, as you know, is a very important level, because that would mean that we would be staying above this moving average on the monthly, right? So if during this night nothing weird or crazy happens, then we would be making a higher high on the 10 moving average, and then of course it makes all the sense in the world that we get some continuation, right? And then I would be aiming for the next area of around what was it, around the 10,300 area. That would be my next position that I would be looking into. Boom boom, what do I see? So yeah, that's the moving average. Doom, doom, doom. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's basically the expected move charts. What else was I going to explain to you guys? Yeah, on the short term, yeah, still going sideways. We've talked about that. Let's see some of the other stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, something that's very, very interesting to note is that this is the red line. That's the bears basically, and the bears have been doing exactly nothing, completely nothing. So I do think that you have to be be aware of that as well. So they've really literally did nothing, right? So they've made their money, and then yeah, they have been doing nothing. So they have a lot of strength and power. That's what I mean. So we have to be also very, very careful of that as well. Hi Syed. Do I guide every day? Yes. So every day I've been streaming every day, 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8. You can watch all my previous videos in the videos section. So you can see. I only started a couple of weeks ago, and actually, a lot of people. Well, I started off. I didn't really care that I have any viewers or anything like that, because I'm doing this for fun. That's one, and I'm doing this for myself more personally than for anybody else. It's more like, you know, recording myself and making sure that I'm putting effort in, you know, in my work and my trades. But yeah, after 2 weeks, I think now all of my videos have apparently more than 1,000 people watching on a daily basis. So it kind of like grew from zero to this. So yeah, I still will try to do it on a daily basis as long as I can. Although my wife is currently pregnant. She is 9 months right now, and she can really literally pop anytime now. Similar like Bitcoin. It can pop at any time. So yeah, as when I get my firstborn, my boy, it's a boy, so then most likely there will be some downtime for me that I'm not able to trade, or I'll be with the baby. Well, maybe I'll do some streams with while the baby is watching me. So we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty excited about it, but yeah, let's see how things go. Thank you, Justinas. Thank you. How can I start trading, Jay? Well, this channel is not really for beginners, let's say. This is quite advanced already. So I do, if you really want to start trading, there's plenty of information on the internet, plenty of channels that do help out for people who are beginners and trading. So I would start out with that. To be honest, that's how I started myself with trading 6 years ago or something like that. 6 years ago, I started out just by watching videos, listening to other traders, reading books, technical analysis books, and so on and so on. And that's how I started 6 years ago, right? You got to do the work before you see some results. Thank you, Orange. Thank you. But yeah, I hope that that answers your question. So I did have a message in my in a legit site. Yeah, I understand you are scared, Jay, but first of all, you should not be trading big amounts, definitely, if you are just starting out. So there are plenty of sites that have what we call test net sites. Meaning you are just basically using fake money, fake Bitcoins, for example, to be trading on their website. So I really recommend you starting with that, because then you know all the functions and all the what every button says or does, right? So it helps you learn to trade, and also it gives you basically a realistic idea of what your results would be if you were actually trading with real money. And once you are used to the testnet, then you can just do it with real money. But make sure think about risk management, right? Risk management is one of the key things that you should be learning if you just start out. Hi Daryl, thank you for following and welcome to the channel as well. Yeah, so most exchanges or most margin trading platforms have a testnet site. So maybe you can just type in margin trading testnet or something like that. You know, you'll figure it out, right? There's, like I said, there's a lot of information on the internet. There's a lot of YouTube guides or something like that. So I'm sure you'll be fine, right? You'll be fine. Yeah, risk management is probably the most important thing of them all. Like I said, it's all about long term. I always say to give you the same example. If you're trading every day and you made 4 correct decisions and you made $100 every day, but you made 3 wrong decisions and you lost $100 every day, then at the end of the week you're still positive $100, and that's how you actually have to be thinking about trading. You will never, trust me, never ever be right all the time. If that's what your expectations are, you'll be you'll in for a treat. Let's put it like that. But the better traders will be correct more times than they are wrong, and then you'll be doing better, right? I feel it to need to 9,500. We're close in front, and on monthly it's still making a lower top and lower high with an overall trend. That is very correct, Ayush. I've shown this exactly as well here on my weekly chart. As you can see here on my weekly chart, we are technically still in a downtrend. We still did not make a higher high. Okay, one of the tricks that you can do is when you are drawing these support or resistance line is the following. You can change this from candle pattern into a line chart, and you will actually see resistance lines, or you can draw your resistance lines and the support lines better. As you can see here, it makes things easier to put the resistance and support lines. So that's something that as a trick for people who want to draw better resistance and support lines, right? And then it looks like this. But yes, that is correct. You Ayush, we are still technically in a downtrend, but you cannot ignore all these bullish crosses. Once these EMA is starting to cross over to the bullish side, it does mean that it will most likely be breaking. If we have enough momentum on our side, we will be breaking the top pattern. Do I use Elliott wave theory? Yes, I actually studied Elliott wave theory when I started out, and I was using it for quite some time, actually, for the first couple of years. And Elliott wave theory is something that is very nice when the pattern already happened. So for me, trading Elliott waves as an actual trader, I think it's very hard, because basically whenever so you have all these probabilities, like, you know, you have these zigzag. It could be a zigzag, it could be a flat correction, it could be this, it could be that. And basically whenever something happens, you deduce, and you basically scratch out the pattern, right? But there are so many different types of patterns or probabilities, that whenever something has already happened, it's already too late for you to trade. So I actually started off trading, doing Elliott waves as a trading, but I haven't been. I was more my P&L, my results were way better after I still use Elliott wave theory, but more in like to how to say it, make things look pretty. Because whenever something already has happened, it looked really pretty to put the waves on, right? And then it makes things a lot easier, or to overview things, let's put it like that. But to actually enter or exit a trade with Elliott wave, I think it's very hard to do. I do agree, Ayush. I do agree. I've said this before. I cannot stay bearish at this moment. But I do feel that we have to be very aware, because what if the problem is, we can talk about all this fundamental stuff. The reality is Bitcoin is still heavily correlated with the stock market, with the S&P. So if the stock market crashes, Bitcoin is going to be crashing as well. It's just how it is right now. And until we see an actual decoupling of the stock market with the Bitcoin market, then all that stuff makes sense. And for me, I'm a very big supporter of Bitcoin. Of course, I'm very interested. I truly believe in the Bitcoin technology, or the fundamentals of it. I love the fact that it's a decentralized system. I love the fact that you cannot manipulate it. There's a ledger, transparency. Everything is great. Do I think that it is useful? Yes, because it's actually super useful if you compare it. This is the better version of gold. It's an optimized version of gold. That is what Bitcoin is for me. But the problem is we're not at that level yet where people can see that just yet. We're still in too much of an infancy stage, and we still need some time to get there. But I do believe that we will get there eventually, but most likely not just yet. That's basically what I'm thinking right now. Anyways, hi JR, thank you for following, and welcome to the channel. So I got a message yesterday from somebody from Australia, Adam from Australia. He asked me what do I think about Cardano or ADA. And before I get like a ton of messages about all these shitcoins, please be aware that I do not really care about any shitcoins or altcoins. I almost have zero altcoins. I have a little bit of altcoins, but like any good portfolio, you should be having a very small amount of altcoins, because it's so, if you think that Bitcoin is volatile, altcoins are even more volatile, and also most of the altcoins are just following Bitcoin anyways. That's one. And secondly, most of the altcoins do not generate a better result, at least in the long term, versus Bitcoin. Of course, you have these pump and dumps, etc., but I'm not talking about those moments. So, but anyways, he was asking me about what I think about Cardano. So let's go to ADA. Cardano. Let's take maybe Binance, I guess. Let's do Binance. So this is the chart on Binance. So what I see on every fucking altcoin is this pattern, and I call this the when you go to a hospital, and you have that heartbeat machine. That's what almost every altcoin chart looks like to me. It beats do that's basically what every altcoin is looking like, right? So that is one of the reasons why I'm not really interested in an altcoin, right? Because what I'm seeing is a permanent downtrend, right? A permanent downtrend. Look at this. This is the trend line, right? That's the trend line. We have not made a higher high since forever. This lower high, this lower high, this lower high, this lower high. Does it mean that we cannot break up at one point or something like that? Of course, but guys, really? It's been, what's this? It's been since 2018. It's been 2 years that we keep making lower highs, right? Like, come on. Come on, guys. I know. Everybody is like, yes, one of these shitcoins is going to take over the world, is going to overtake Bitcoin at one day. Sure. But I don't know. I'm not interested in it. Like, I don't know. First of all, I care about liquidity because I want to be, well, it depends on how much you're trading, but sometimes I do have extremely large positions and I want to have liquidity, and most of the altcoins don't have that trading liquidity. If you think that the 250 billion market cap is big, just take a look at what the market cap is for the stock market or something like that. We're talking about trillions here, not billions, you know, trillions. So our market is really small, and Bitcoin is the biggest one, and still, you know, it's heavily, well, not heavily, but it's quite substantially controlled or manipulated by big whales who have a lot of Bitcoins. A lot of Bitcoins. So I do want to take a look at our favorite Cardano for Mr. Adam. So what are we seeing at and looking at right now? We made a nice, very similar, we made a nice push upwards, right? Very similar to Bitcoin. Like I said, altcoins will pretty much make the same trend as Bitcoin. We had this major crash on the 23rd. Oh yes, we had that major crash, and then what happened? We made a recovery up, and right now it is below the EMA 55. As you can see, got rejected right here at the EMA 55, which is lower because Bitcoin, as you know, went over the EMA 200 or MA 200, just smashed above it, while these altcoins keep dragging below these EMAs. So let's take a look at how much that did we recover, right? So let's see, do a Fibonacci retracement from here to here. We did touch the 0.786, but technically still in a downtrend, still down. But what is positive is, of course, we got our EMA 55 that is crossing over the moving average. So that's pretty good. Yeah. ETH seems to be a leading altcoin. That's correct, Ayush. It seems to be leading. But yeah, this ADA Cardano is still one of the weaker altcoins. If you can see, if you look at this chart right here, let's make some trend line here, horizontal line. So our previous high would be here at like 0.07. It also matches our previous order block, so that would probably be the target that I would be aiming at if Bitcoin goes to, like, you know, the 9k what do I say, the 10.3k level, then that's what I would be looking at, somewhere around there on that area for Cardano. But yeah, like I said, am I interested in it? Not really. Not really, right? First target would be here at 0.061, and then the highest target would be at 0.073. That's basically where I would be looking at to take some profits if you are interested in Cardano. It's very possible that if Bitcoin goes down, that we are taking a leg lower towards this yellow line at 0.041, and then it will start looking very bearish as well once again. Like I said, these altcoins, they don't look that pretty to me. I don't know why people are so interested in them. I guess it's understandable for the reason that a lot of people are holding these altcoins and never got out of their own altcoins, and they believe since 2018 this is going to change the world. And yeah, maybe in 5 years, possible. Yeah, that's also correct. The Bitcoin dominance has actually been increasing, right? Which also makes sense. So so if the Bitcoin dominance increases, the rate, the percentage, the quickness of how fast when Bitcoin moves up, altcoins will move up as well, but at a slower pace than Bitcoin. and we're talking, of course, in US dollar comparison. I'm not talking about in BTC um, comparison, right? So I'm talking about USD pair, not BTC pair. But yeah, that's what I would be looking at right now. Getting rejected at the EMA 55. Next push up probably here, 0.61. If Bitcoin goes up as well. If not, doesn't look good. Right. Doesn't look good. Anyways, what was that? That was my BTC chart, right? Okay, let's go back to BTC. That's why it's my weekly BTC chart. Go. Anyways, something else that I've also told you guys is what I'm seeing is this pump here still has a volume that is still weak. So I'm still like I said, it's still crazy, right? We moved up fucking $1,800, and I still am not convinced about the the pump. Let's put it like that. But yeah, things will look very, very. I mean, like I said, we have to be a little bit patient here after this huge move. We've all made a lot of money. Well, I hope we all made a lot of money. But the correct move right now is to actually be waiting it out for me personally, and see what the monthly close tomorrow brings. If the monthly close, like I said, there's a ton of probabilities. Will we be closing above the MA10? Will we be closing below the MA10? Will we be closing above the previous monthly close? Will we be closing below the monthly close? All of that will matter, and definitely if we are starting, like I said, if we close below the EMA 21, oh my god, then the bears will come out to play. So I really hope that doesn't happen. But something that you also have to keep in mind is what happened with the halving. Remember with last month when we had the halving for Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV, Satoshi's vision, what the fuck. Anyways, we had that halving. What happened was basically nothing, right? It made like a small pump and dump, right? So yes, Henry, but at least you know, at least you have some explanation, or you know, and trust me, that's not a criticism, right? Please don't take my my words as criticism. I'm just telling you what I would be doing in in my perspective. Yes, Ayush. Yeah, I know. I understand that that patience thing. That's really, really good. But uh, you know, I'm a trader, so yeah, I just don't get it when people are just thinking like, okay, well, I'm just gonna hold for 20 years. Yeah, sure. Most likely, if you believe in the technology over 20 years, most likely it will be really, really good. But I'm a trader, so I want to have either, because I believe in the technology, I want to have more Bitcoin. So I'm trying to trade and get more Bitcoins, and also I need to pay my bills. I need to you know, I have a wife, I have a kid upcoming. You know, there's the bills to be paid, so I cannot keep all my Bitcoins, sadly enough, right? But I can't complain, right? I've been doing pretty well. So yeah, can't complain. Things are good. I'm very, very blessed and healthy, and that's the most important thing, right? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it for tonight. I'm gonna call it quits because it's over 1 hour already, and then my throat starts, you know, start getting raspy. And also, I do have some other positions that I have to take care of, because I'm also doing options trading for a lot of people, that's really advanced. Definitely not recommended. I know a lot of people are margin trading, but I do also options trading. So I have a lot of spreads, covers, and sprangles, and so on. So have to be taking care of that for a little bit before spending some time with the wife, the pregnant wife. So anyways, tomorrow we definitely have a very big analysis upcoming with the monthly close. So I hope you guys will be joining me tomorrow once again, 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8. And please do like, share, follow, whatever with this stream, so we get more people involved. And like I said, I'm here to discuss and talk about pretty much everything. So yeah. So until tomorrow, please stay home, stay safe, and of course, stay COVID free.